It means freedom, exercise, being out in the nature. It's just a great feeling.
I cycled quite a lot when I was younger, and then almost didn't cycle for many years when I was probably had my full-time job and I was getting from work and back. And only in the recent years have I started cycling again and actually taking the bike out. And I've rediscovered so many things that I never knew they were there. So I've almost rediscovered a new city with my bike.
I do three things mainly. My main focus is on pedelec adventures. We organize and ride adventure tours in all different places of the world. The second thing is journalism. I've been documenting, photographing and writing on the e-bike industry for almost 20 years now. And the third thing is that I help selected companies with cross-cultural communication and networking.
The Purple Heart Network is a charity myself and my partner Joe set up, and what it deals with, it tackles environmental and social injustices. We decided that we were going to do something which was going to be quite an attention-grabbing item, something that was of the extraordinary. Before we had actually set up the charity, I had always an idea that I'd like to have done something which was a physical endurance for myself personally. So I decided on a bike trip, but whilst developing our concept, I decided to use the actual technology of an e-bike.
He approached me through the internet because he saw I had a lot of experience in electric bike touring.
I thought she was intrigued with the idea. I thought she was excited about the potential, but I think she had to be convinced with myself. She had to be convinced that I, as a person, firstly could be able to do that, and secondly, we could do that together.
I knew this is going to be a huge effort, so I really wanted to make sure he's very serious about it. And he was.
As soon as we actually met for the first time, we had decided within a space of hours that we would be very good riding partners and potentially very good partners within a large expedition.
And we sat down for a week and made this a real project concept. We called it eBike Africa.
Is to get an e-bike firstly through Africa, which had never been done before.
It's a 20,000 kilometer journey from Glasgow to Cape Town.
The fact is to be able to experience something that very, very few people would ever experience, which is an overland trip through Africa on a mode of transport that is almost walking. So you're not only experiencing nature, you're actually experiencing people. You're walking past people, stopping, talking, communicating and engaging with human beings. We are initially going from Glasgow to Paris. We're going to COP21, which is the UN Climate Conference. We think that it's an important place for us and also the Purple Heart Network to raise our concerns.
Raising awareness of climate change, of sustainable energy that's connected to new mobility.
We are probably one of the highest polluters on the planet, and we feel climate change probably the least. The second leg will leave from Paris again, and it will take me through the rest of Europe, where I will get a ferry from Italy to Egypt, and then I will come all the way down the eastern side of Africa and eventually ending up in Cape Town. I lived in South Africa for 23 years of my life. I am a born and bred African. Even though that I'm white, I'm an African. And my one chance is to go back and actually engage with other Africans on a very personal basis. And I think that's what this trip will do for me. And also dispel a lot of the myths of Africa, being how dangerous and what a worrying place it would be to go and visit.
Well, to be honest, there's nothing that really frightens me. I know it's going to be a challenge, and I know it's taking both of us and probably our technical equipment to the limit, but that's what we're prepared for.
Right there. One sec.
There's a lot of things that frighten me. I think if you read natural press, everything would frighten you. Every single government would tell you not to go there. And the reality is, I don't see that being. I see normal people living in all those countries. And I think normal people go about their days, work every single day. And yes, I will stand out because I'm a white person on a very crazy bike. But the reality is, I am looking forward to all the positive experiences. And the things that I'm worried about, I'll have to deal with at the time. I think what am I most looking forward to is experiencing, I think, what Africa really has to offer. You don't really see that. You can't buy that. I don't really know what that is. It's not a destination. It's not Kilimanjaro. It's not this. It's not going to see something. For me, it is really about the journey from one place to another, and all those people and places and things that you see. Those are the experiences that you can't capture on film.
Seeing countrysides that I've never seen before, actually meeting people that live a totally different life and have a totally different culture, and just learn from them how their mindset works, how their everyday life works. So I'm really excited about that part.
The next couple of days, I think I'd become less emotional. I think it's just been a lot of thought that has gone into this, but not a lot of doing. We've had a lot of planning. I think now that I'm actually physically doing something, I will like my body to kind of just readjust to the amount of work that we're doing, but also readjust with myself emotionally to do with being away from my children, being away from my friends, and I think it's all good, but it's going to take a little bit of time of readjustment.
I have a little compass with me. It's very light, and that's always with me, and that guides me the right way.
I have a teddy, well, a soft toy called Ratty, which is my sons gave this to me many years ago, and I've always had it in the house. And Ratty has gone on several other expeditions, and he is often in the film or in footage, in pictures. I hide him in trees and things, and the kids need to go and find it. So yeah.
I had it in Mongolia, and where we were traveling without trails a lot of times, and it helped me to always go where I wanted to go.
It brings me a lot of comfort knowing that my kids are close to me, and yeah, it's a nice thing for the kids to think about, and also it's a nice thing for me to be able to hold and to keep.